I'm running for governor of Illinois.
Okay. And if you could also tell me a grade for the legislature. They just finished up a session. What kind of grade would you give them?
It depends on which class you're talking about. There was some things that they did that I think were good, but I'll tell you, overall, I'd say by them walking away and having not fixed the issue of the public pensions is in itself a failing grade. I think that is, without a doubt, the number one thing that should have been resolved in this state, because that's going to determine all kinds of things. It's going to be reflective of our bond ratings, and it's going to be reflective of where they are in further debt. It's going to be reflective of where they are in spending. By not having fixed that, they didn't do what they should have done. You had another question?
I did want to follow up on the SB1 versus the Cullerton plan. I mean, there are legitimate differences. Cullerton is convinced that the SB1 is unconstitutional. I mean, it's not. But you say you can sit them down in a room, but it seems like there are some really unbreakable differences.
Well, but the fact of the matter is, the whole idea of somebody saying that they think it's unconstitutional, while you have many other legal minds that say it is constitutional. So let's just say there's a difference in legal opinion there. I respect that, but my contention is you don't then not act because of that. I am not the kind of guy that likes to have a litigious type of activity, but pass what the legal minds think is the best one that you can do constitutionally and run it to the Supreme Court. Put it there. I mean, you shouldn't not act because somebody has a difference of opinion on that.
You said we got about $9 billion in unpaid bills. I thought it was down to like $6.
It was briefly during that extra money that came in because of the April 15th and the federal stuff. But as you go back and read Judy's report, it was 9 before that extra money came in on January 2013, which is 2 years after the income tax increase. It then went back down, and it's also projected to go back up again by the end of the fiscal year. Go ahead, Nicole.
You talk a lot about, you still believe in the good of Illinois when we hear so many negative things.
Right.
And part of the press release that said we were going to unveil your vision for the future of Illinois. Tell me a little bit about what that is.
Well, I see Illinois as a good place. It's a good place that you can make better to have a business. We've got ourselves a whole spectrum of transportation benefits. We've got ourselves a global city in Chicago. You've got yourself, a good workforce. You've got yourself an education system that's good. You've got technical and vocational training that's good. And candidly, the idea of making Illinois a better place can be done. And the other part of it is I don't see us really having a good advocate out there for our businesses. I've talked to individuals that have already had Rick Perry call on them. The individual companies that have already had people go and have their staffs from different states call on them. We don't have an aggressive effort at that here in the state of Illinois. Now, I understand that somebody from one of the state agencies is going to say we do. Well, then you go talk to those business people that will beg to differ with you, that there's a lot better advocacy in other states than what Illinois is doing for those companies now.
There's a planning to run on the Republican ticket as well. What makes you the better candidate?
The fact that I've already got some experience in business, small business, as well as large business, and the fact of it is, too, what I've learned from a lot of Republicans and people around the state is they want to change in Illinois, and it doesn't matter what grandiose ideas you have if you can't win. I'm the guy that has actually won, and I went through some of the statistics earlier. I think that's the major difference in the relationships that we have throughout the state, Sangamon County, Cook County, all the way from Lake clear down to Alexander, and the fact that we've actually won a race and can put this together.
How do we win Chicago?
Winning Chicago will be a challenge, but I think the answer better to respond to, or the question better to respond to is, can you cut your losses in Chicago? And it's pretty obvious that we can. We've already done that. Having gotten 22% at that race, I won the race. And, another candidate that was on the ticket got 18%, and he lost.
Obviously, you want to stay in. You're in early, the first. How do you avoid, as a party, what happened, the last time when you had many candidates shooting at each other and tearing each other up in the primary?
It's going to, it's inevitable. As you heard my comments, I know it's going to be a tough primary, and we will be outspent. I understand that, but it's going to come from hard work, being out there, the places we've been going to for years, building relationships, and having ourselves a good network. And I think that you're going to see that that'll pay off.
The tax increase is set to expire. A lot of Republicans have been saying that that's not going to be able to happen the way Democrats are spending now with this current budget. Where are you on that?
I put it on the table. I put it on the table. When I take that oath of office in January 2015, that income tax increase is going to have to be on the table for discussion and debate. And I will tell you what, I will not sign any income tax increase that doesn't fix the problem of Illinois. And that was the problem that would happen 2 years ago. They looked to raise the money, and they didn't fix the problem.
But you're open to extending it if it's
what I'm
part
saying
of a
is
broader...
What I'm saying is put it on the table. It'll be part of a discussion that we'll have. Put it on the
You're
table.
not foreclosing, one way or the other.
Put it on the table.
You say you're going to live in the mansion. Did you see Senator Dillard's comments about who should live in the mansion? The traditional family comment. You take any message from that or any response to that?
No, I think that the people of Illinois right now care about their families having a job. The most important thing for families today is making sure that their husband has a job, to make sure the brother-in-law keeps a job, that their kid that goes to Illinois State University is going to have a job, or the fact that their daughter that gets out of vocational training school is going to have a job. That's the most important thing, I think, for families in Illinois.
Sorry, can I have it on tape that you're going to live in the mansion? I'm sorry, This has been an issue in Springfield since the Edgar administration. I didn't hear you say that earlier.
I will live in the governor's mansion in Springfield.
What percentage of time would you say?
I don't know. I'm going to live in the mansion.
Well, you'll keep the house in Chenoa, right?
Oh, I'm not going to sell my private residence. No, I'll go back home. I mean, here, when you say you will live in, yes, I will reside and I will live in the mansion. But I will tell you too, yes, I've got a home in Chenoa, and I happen to have clothes that I have there too.